Good morning, everyone. I'm Wei Xiang, and this is Sixing, and together we are from Greenbox. So, Greenbox is an initiative to improve mental wellness through physical environment changes as well as increase access to mental health resources. So, mainly our initiative will actually target employees at the workspace. So, let's first start off with an alarming fact. So, 1 in 7 Singaporeans have experienced a mental disorder as compared to 1 in 8 in 2010. And a lot of studies have actually shown that work is actually directly related to poor mental health. So what has been done so far? So fortunately, there's been more focus on mental wellness by employers and also an increased focus by the government as well. There are also numerous campaigns that actually address the broader stigma of mental health. But is all of this enough? So what we have found so far after talking to various HR personnel is that, firstly, the second point is that companies may actually lack expertise and experience on managing their employees' mental wellness effectively. Yeah. Another pinpoint is that the human resource department may actually lack manpower itself to carry out such initiatives. And lastly, there's a lack of focus on the physical workspace. But you may ask, why is the physical workspace important? So did you know that the physical environment is actually can actually directly affect how you feel about stress and fatigue, and can also impact worker satisfaction and mental health? So we were very interested to find out more about this. So we actually carried out a survey, and what we have found is that a lot of our respondents actually told us that the physical environment directly impacts their mental health. So back to our solution. What do we actually want to solve? So first and foremost, we want to see how we can empower more youth to support their peers who are suffering from mental health issues. So introducing Greenbox, where we actually hope to engender more conversations on mental health through co-creation of the physical workspace. But what do we mean by that? Let me elaborate more. So first and foremost, Greenbox will actually encompass an app, and the app will actually allow employees to upload a photo of their work environment. And combining this with personality tests, the app will actually suggest automated changes to their workplace, so based on their working style. So lastly, we actually have a game to allow employees to come together to co-create their workspace. And through this co-creation, we want them to have more conversation on mental health and strengthen the peer support ecosystem at the workplace. So this is, on the left, you can see roughly how the camera feature will look like for employees to upload their photos, and on the right, the personality test. And this is how the game will roughly look like. So I think the one key question that we are asking ourselves is, can we do more? As an app to actually engage mental wellness of employees at the workplace, we can and want to do so much more. And that is what Greenbox hopes to be.
So other than facilitating mental health conversations, Greenbox also aims to be a one-stop app to bring together mental wellness resources for company employees in order to elevate the manpower and workload that is required of HR departments within companies. As seen on the left, users will be able to look through various mental health workshops and events and sign up based on their interest. Seen on the right, users can also be linked to external resources for mental wellness. All in all, Greenbox encompasses various aspects for the purpose of improving mental wellness for company employees and encouraging peer support. To measure our impact, we will be embedding wellness skills and survey questions to gauge how much our app improves mental well-being and supports meaningful conversations. Analyzing the competition in the market, and to the best of our knowledge, Greenbox is the one and only initiative in Singapore that focuses on both on collaborative crafting of the physical environment to improve mental well-being. Other initiatives like JustCo and Mindline either focus on the built environment or mental wellness, but not both. Our business model will include subscription fees for the usage of the app and also profit sharing with our partners, who will be facilitating the features of the app. Our marketing plan to reach out to HR personnel will be through LinkedIn groups, online forums, and traditional cold calling. This is our timeline. From now, we will be engaging various professionals for the development of the app. Then we will launch a beta version in June this year to gather feedback before we officially launch in September. We hope to get a total of $50,000 for the grant for our project, and here's the brief breakdown of what we'll be using it for. In the near future, it is important that we garner feedback from the first few companies that we engage and increase our pool of professional collaborators in order to strengthen our app's foundation and increase credibility. Once we establish a sustainable business model, we can then create social impact by engaging the less privileged communities on a non-profit basis. To wrap up, Greenbox wants to improve mental wellness and empower peer support through facilitated mental health conversations about the environment and how it can affect us. This has been Siting and Wei Xiang from Greenbox. It's time for us to pay more attention to what surrounds us. Thank you.
Thank you, Greenbox. Now, on to the Q&A session. Judges, please.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm curious, in terms of, let's say, pictures of the work desk and taking a picture of it and uploading it and getting that feedback, while it's interesting, I'm wondering, like, what would the potential, in your estimate, uptake be of people who would do that? Because while a table might also look messy for others, it could be like, there's an organized chaos for that individual, which, if messed up in a different way or arranged in a different way, can actually cause more well-being issues for the person. So I was quite curious as to where that idea came from.
I think for that, so just to clarify on the question is on how we get, how the workspace actually is linked to mental health, is it? Or
How that particular feature within the app would support the well-being of that individual, because it tends to suggest that the person has maybe they want to change, but they don't know how to change, and I wonder how many % of the target users might actually experience that.
Right. Okay, thanks for the clarification. So what we have found out from our survey, from our participants, is that actually a lot of them are keen to change their space for their mental health. So they actually have an innate recognition of how their physical workspace actually impacts their mental health. But of course, we also do recognize that this is definitely not the only factor that plays a role in employees' mental health, and which is why for Greenbox we want to do more and be a one-stop app basically for HR departments to be able to provide more mental wellness solutions for their employees through extensive partnerships. Yeah.
Can you maybe summarize what your value proposition is to your target customer segment and how you're different from your main competitor?
Okay, I think in summary, I think our value proposition is it's a few things lah. So I think first and foremost is how one thing is we somewhat aim to be a mental wellness consultancy to companies for their human resource departments, yeah, which may face difficulties such as like manpower issues on actually carrying out mental wellness initiatives, or they may not know how to do that. Yeah, so that's the first thing that's the first pain point that we try to address. But I also do recognize that there are a few competitors on the market that's doing the same thing, such as MindFi, etc., which I understand. I think they are doing online engagements like videos, etc. Yeah, but what we want to do is to take it a step further. So that comes from two perspectives. So one thing is that we involve and bring in the change into the physical space, so that there's a tangible and visual difference to where they are working at. So that's one. So second thing is, what we are trying to do is that we don't actually curate like all these workshops, etc., by ourselves, but we actually partner with different existing partners on the market. So on that end, there's a lot of scalability because we are not limited by our own capacity, but we actually work with different partners, and we bring these different partners to the human resource departments, so we can access what are the needs of the human resource departments. Like, okay, you can tell me, oh, okay, maybe like what are, like, for example, the timings suitable for workshops, etc., or like what are, like, certain things that they feel that their employees require more. Yeah, and we can be that third party to actually find through our partners what are the different solutions available. Yeah, so it's a win-win because for the partners themselves, they will want to engage us because we are effectively broadening their market reach. Yeah, we are helping them do business, do marketing, basically. Yeah, then on the other end, the human resource department, we are offloading them because they are able to know they are able to fall back on this consultancy. Yeah, that will actually help them engage the mental wellness of their employees. Yeah, which is good because mental health is a upcoming thing lah within workplace, and more workplaces are placing more attention on it. Yeah.
You mentioned that you're working on with some partners, right? Can we know some of your community partners? And also, to build on the collaboration piece, right? The Ministry of Healthcare and Transformation Office, right? They're working on the MyLine.sg, which they're targeting both youth and also workplace mental well-being. Just a recommendation that probably you can actually synergize with them because they're doing this on a national level. Yeah.
So I elaborate on our
Partners.
Right. Okay. So right now we are in the talks with different partners. Yeah. So, but to actually, because this is still very much in ideation lah. Yeah. So we are not on the stage of confirming anything because when we partner with these partners, realistically speaking, there's a business model that's involved, ma. So that will bring along business terms, etc. Yeah. So we are still working on that part and trying to talk to more partners to see what is the approach that we should have when discussing such terms with them. Yeah.
Right. I think, is there any more other last questions from the judges? Nope. Okay. With that, thank you very much, Greenbox. Thank you for that.